And that match seemed to have ended in a favor that doing well, please Nigerians, because I mean we're looking forward to clinching like 3 points. But what happened? The scores, I mean the spoils that we got to share was just nothing at all. It was a nil. But then before I get into the full details of that particular match, let's take a look at exactly what action has actually gone down with the AFCON qualifiers. We're talking about the qualifiers ahead of AFCON 2025. On Monday, Burundi went against Senegal, but Senegal took the win with 1-0. Equatorial Guinea and Togo met face to face, but it ended 2-2. Madagascar and Comoros shared the spoils of 1-1. Niger and Ghana, same thing as well. It ended 1-1. Uganda took the win over Congo with 2-0. Angola decided to be triumphant and they, of course, sliced Sudan with 2-1. DR Congo as well took the victory over Ethiopia with 2-0. Morocco won over Lesotho with 1-0. And then we come down to matches as of yesterday. South Africa took the win over South Sudan with 3-2. Mali took the win over Eswatini with 1-0. It was a match that went head to head, but of course, Mozambique decided we're going to be the winners, and it was 2-1 against Guinea-Bissau as of yesterday. Gabon added to, their run for the qualifiers with a 2-0 victory over Central African Republic. Tanzania were also victorious with a 2-1 victory over Guinea. Kenya as well recording a victory against Namibia with 2-1. We saw that Zimbabwe and Cameroon were not able to produce a goal in that match, which ended nil for the both sides. Egypt were so indomitable with a 4-0 victory over Botswana. And then we got to see that Algeria went ahead of Liberia with 3-0 victory. Cape Verde as well winning over Mauritania with 2-0. Benin winning over Libya with 2-1. Zambia winning over Sierra Leone with 3-2. Burkina Faso against Malawi, and they took the win with 3-1. And yeah, Ivory Coast, well, the defending champions of the AFCON actually took that win over Chad with 2-0. And we would definitely not leave out exactly what went down with Nigeria, the scoreline which ended nil for both sides. Well, they were held to a goalless draw in their second 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against Rwanda at the Stade Amahoro in Kigali. Of course, despite it seemed that we were a better team, Nigeria struggled to find the back of the net with a strong defense, but limited offensive chances against a resilient Rwanda side. Meanwhile, of course, many football followers, we were all anticipating that that match would actually end in the right direction, and that is victory for Nigeria. I mean, continuing their victory over Benin Republic, which, well, of course, that scoreline was 3-0. But this time around, it was a nil case, and we got to see that the Super Eagles goal by Ademola Lookman was disallowed by the referee, and got a lot of people really asking questions, really. But then, in spite of all of this, we get to see that much of the highlights we're getting to see Ademola Lookman as well as the Rwanda goalkeeper. You people were waiting. This guy just came all the way to, frustrate our team as of yesterday. I'm talking about Frakre Ntwari. He was outstanding for Rwanda between the sticks, making saves to keep the Super Eagles at bay. Now, with this scoreline and with everything that went down yesterday, lots of people seem to be calling for a sack for Augustin Eguavon. A question of should he be allowed to stay through? I know lots of people still, when of course we had that victory over Benin Republic, there were calls, oh yes, we're finally back on track. This is the victory that we want. But a loss, and I mean not necessarily a loss, because I mean we're currently topping our group right now with 4 points, and we are standing above others. I'm talking about Group D. Now we're at 4 points, followed by Benin with 3 points, Rwanda with 2 points, and Libya with 1 point. Is it too early to make that call for the interim coach of the Super Eagles, Augustin Eguavon? Well, there have been some silent speculations, but about his stay still with the team. But definitely, we're only going to bring news that is clear on that particular one because I mean, fake news drives everywhere on social media. So let's be calming down. But then also, many feedbacks from that yesterday match, and we got to see that Fisaya Dele Bashir had actually said that the Super Eagles deserved more from yesterday's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying clash against the Amavubi of Rwanda. And in his words, he said, I think we played where it was going to be difficult playing away. They have their fans cheering them, of course. There is a lot of circumstances to consider too. But then also, when we take a look at the fact that this has to be the final game, because I mean our next game is going to be in October, and there's going to be that return, and we're going to face Libya. Can we do this and continue to stay top of the table? Well, if you've just tuned in, this is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. Our phone lines are currently open. Did you watch that match yesterday? What were your points? What were your takeaways? 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. We also have our toll-free number for women. That is 0800 1235 917. And our SMS on WhatsApp line, that is 0703 175 6537. Well, still talking football, yeah. The head coach of the Falconets of Nigeria, Chris Danjuma, says his players are excited at the prospects of facing Japan in the knockout stages of the FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup finals in Colombia. The Falconets of Nigeria will take on Japan, one of the strongest forces, we understand, in women's football globally, at the ongoing FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup finals in Colombia. And, speaking about, ahead of that clash, which definitely will go down, give you details about that. He says the girls have worked really hard to get to this stage and we are proud of their efforts. We will take the knockout stages one match at a time. I must tell you that we are excited at the prospect of facing Japan and what that brings. So this clash between Nigeria and Japan will hold at the Estadio Metropolitano de Techo in Bogota, where the Falconets will play their first two matches of the group phase against Korea Republic and Germany, starting from about 2 a.m. Nigeria time and 8 p.m. Thursday in Colombia on Friday, 13th September. All right, and away from that too, under 18 Afro Basket Junior, the Tigers have secured their quarter-final ticket. This one should be good news, really. Nigeria's representatives at the FIBA Under 18 Afro Basket Championship in South Africa, Junior, the Tigers have secured the quarterfinals ticket. They recorded their second victory after they indomitably beat Uganda 72-61 to sail through to the quarterfinals. Of course, we know that they're coached by Fubara Oyanabo, and of course, the FIBA Under 18 AfroBasket 2024 tipped off on Sunday, September 1st, and it will round off on September 14th. And this is one to look out for. Well, it is still Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. It is Sports Radio 360. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more sporting stories for your listening pleasure.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
She structured the National Social Investment Office, NSIO, to eliminate corruption. She ensured due process is followed in the award of contracts to include regulation and monitoring of payment to beneficiaries by the Ministry of Budget and Planning and other international bodies. A lawyer, Mariam Uwais, initiated and coordinated feeding and education of out-of-school children in Nigeria through the At-Risk Children Program. Uwais was instrumental to the prohibition of marketing, promotion, distribution, and sales of tobacco to minors. Uwais founded the Isa Wali Empowerment Initiative and has provided quality education and healthcare to over 15,300 indigent women and girls. Mariam Uwais is transparent, incorruptible, and accountable. An iconic woman of our time is an initiative of St. Ives Communications, Women Radio, Voice of Women, and supported by the MacArthur Foundation.
Imagine a school where your child can soar to new heights. Welcome to Morehouse International Schools at Rigbo Town, where excellence meets passion. Formerly known as FunkTub, our institution boasts a unique blend of the Nigerian curriculum, British Checkpoint series, and American perspective. Our professionally distinguished teachers will guide your child in academics, sports, indoor games, and global leadership wisdom, all infused with African moral values. So you don't have to worry. Located at 2123 Journalist Estate Road at Rigbo Town by the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, our campuses Morehouse College and Morehouse Montessori Schools are the perfect haven for your child to thrive. Our exam results speak for themselves. Excellent WAEC, NACO, JAM, and more. Morehouse International Schools, where pupils become purpose-driven and students become vision-loaded, shining brighter than ordinary stars. For more inquiries, contact 0803-253-9186 or 0803-223-8014. Admission is still in progress. Morehouse Schools, excelling more and more.
otu ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi Women Radio Membership n'olu bekee na-ejikọ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị azụmahịa ndị ọzọ, ndị ọchụnta ego, ụmụ akwụkwọ, ndị nlekwa ezinụlọ, ndị ọrụ ugbo na ndị ezumike nka dị na steeti 36 nke Naịjirịa. Dịka onye otu ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi, azụmahịa gị bụ nke a ga-akwalitere gị n'efu n'igwe mgbasa ozi ụmụ nwaanyị. Ị ga-enwetakwazi ihe nrite ihe ọma ndị dị ịtụnanya dị iche iche ma nwetakwazi ohere ịnọ ma sonyere ihe omume anyị gasị. Tinye Women Radio app n'ekwentị gị taa gị wee nụrụ olu gị n'igwe mgbasa ozi. Debanye aha n'efu na wfm917.com ma gbaa mbọ hụ na ị na-esonyere otu jikọtara ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi. Nkọwara nzikọrịta ozi Facebook ọ bụ otu Mark Asa Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program NAMIP na HITAP ha na-akwado otu abụ Women Radio Membership.
Are you searching for durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products? At Eleganza Industrial City Limited, we put you first. From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and school tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, lady sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at Kilometer 68 Lekki Ekpe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeju Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665, or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@eleganzagroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. You can visit our website www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee.
Are you a woman who is keen on breaking the bias? Are you looking for a welcoming community with a strong support system that empowers the female gender? Do you need a safe space that is candid, original, and authentic like the queen you are? Then this is the program for you. Tune in to Real Women Real Talk with Kiki Okewale on Women Radio 91.7 FM every Friday by 5 p.m. as Kiki Okewale brings on different leading women who will give you a bite into their growth journey and how they beat all odds to become who they are today. Real Women, Real Talk.
The big question.
Corruption in fact is increasing more. We never had a snake and whether python and swallow him.
Why?
Everything has increased.
Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 12:05 p.m. only on Women Radio.
What are the consequences of corruption on the woman? Silence. Silence through diverse forms. Education, healthcare, laws and policies fostering unfavorable conditions to the woman at all levels. The woman agenda, breaking that silence, demanding accountability, transparency, and good governance. The woman agenda is deliberate and calculative in amplifying the voice of women. The woman agenda, Fridays,
3 p.m.
on Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
World Sports Radio 360. It is on your Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. I am Miracle Phillip, your sports lady, and right now it is 16 minutes past 7, and I'm glad to be here serving you with sporting updates this morning. Of course, we opened up the conversation about yesterday's match between Nigeria and Rwanda, and I want to get to know from you exactly what were your thoughts on that match, which ended on a 0-0 draw for Nigeria. Doesn't stop us from leading in our Group D, but then what could we have done better? 07000 our toll-free number for women. 0800 1235 917. And don't forget that you can actually drop an SMS or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Those are the lines to get to engage with this morning. Well, we must bring you this news. Of course, the Akwa Ibom state government has rewarded Ibom Angels 20 million naira. Yes, the Akwa Ibom state government awarded Ibom Angels 20 million naira for securing promotion to the Nigeria Women Football League. Governor Omoino, who made the announcement, I think yesterday, also donated a coaster bus following their promotion to Nigeria Women Top Flight Football. Coach Edwin Okon tutored Angels defeated Oshun Babes 2-0 in the NWFL Championship promotion playoffs at the UJ Eswene Stadium in Calabar, and that was on Sunday afternoon. Big congratulations to them. Hope that that gets to be a major boost for them as they move forward in the WFL. Well, there are lots of speculations, lots of conversations about exactly what has been up with Victor Moses. Well, we see that the English Championship, Luton Town, have announced the signing of Super Eagles and Chelsea legend Victor Moses. The Hatters were relegated from the Premier League last season and found themselves 23rd in the championship. Well, Moses was a free agent after leaving Russian side Spartak Moscow, who he joined in 2021 after a successful loan spell from Chelsea in the 2020-2021 campaign. The 33-year-old also had spells with Wigan, Liverpool, Stoke, West Ham, Inter Milan after progressing through to Palace first team. Moses has actually won the Premier League and 2 Europa League titles during his career. He has also lifted the Africa Cup of Nations with Nigeria in 2013. What does this move really mean for Luton Town? Can he help them get back into the Premier League? Am I putting so much weight on Victor Moses? But you know what? Let's switch sides to exactly what's going down still in the world of football. The UEFA Nations League and plenty matches that have been played. I'll take you through what went down on Tuesday. Georgia took the win over Albania. Czech Republic took the victory over Ukraine with 3-2. You also see that Malta won over Andorra with 1-0. And then England taking the win over Finland with 2-0. And we see that this particular match it made England captain Harry Kane set his 100th international cap on Tuesday for Finland. But I want you to get to listen to him talk about how Ronaldo really inspires him to play for as long as possible.
I feel in really good shape. I feel both physically and mentally, at a peak in my career. And I think, just watching other players, like watching Ronaldo score his 901st goal yesterday and seeing him compete at, I think, 38 or 39 years old, just inspires me to play for as long as possible. I love this game. I love representing England more than anything. And I don't want it to end anytime soon. So,
well, you got to hear it right there from him, and I guess they took the victory well enough against Finland on Tuesday. Republic of Ireland and Greece went against each other, but it ended 2-0. We also get to see that Bosnia Herzegovina actually went against Hungary, but it ended 0-0. Netherlands and Germany shared the spoils of 2-2. Well, away from that as well, we'll take a look at what to expect for today. But let's not also forget that the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers is on, and we've gotten to see that Paraguay took the win over Brazil. Brazil, the plenty talk about Brazil. So their coach actually came out to say, you know what, we definitely are going to get to the finals of the World Cup. Like, seriously? And what is this that we're seeing? But all that is set and running still. But then there are still conversations about, okay, fine, the UEFA Nations League, it's upgoing. But what does this really mean for players? I mean, especially for Arsenal players, because it is raining injuries on all quarters. Now, before I even bring that one in, I tell you that Manchester City defender Nathan Ake was taken off on a stretcher during the Netherlands Nations League draw with Germany in Amsterdam. Ake was carried off on the stroke of halftime after picking up what appeared to be a hamstring injury. My dear, this is exactly what you get to expect when the calendar has your favorite players playing back to back right after this nation's playoff right now. They get into their club football, and we're getting to see that there are questions about, will Arsenal be able to still continue this their title race, even as they're going to be missing out on some of their players? And the highlight one right there, Martin Odegaard. Because I mean, Arsenal will be facing into this weekend's North London derby against Tottenham without their preferred midfield trio. The Gunners head to their fierce rivals looking to return to winning ways after being held to a 1-1 draw with Brighton and Hove Albion before the international break. But Mikel Arteta might just be racking his head around a lot of injuries. So let me let you in on this. Declan Rice and Mikel Merino definitely missing that game due to first suspension for Declan Rice and then injury respectively, while Martin Odegaard is now a doubt after picking up that injury while playing for Norway. Will they get ahead even without this? They're also, I mean, we've gotten to see that they already have Calafiori, who is right out of that. And it is a major concern because they're still waiting for his recovery. So how will Arsenal fare this season? I'll leave that to you, Tuchu. But then I must quickly bring in this talk right here about tennis. Okay, so finally, the US Open was done and dusted. We got to see Yannick Sinner take the win for the men's side, and then Ariana Sabalenka take the very win for the women's side. But then we know very well that Yannick Sinner took out Jack Draper. But then he's set to join up with the Great Britain Davis Cup squad on Tuesday, and of course, working hard to get fit after picking up what he called a niggle at the US Open. We know that he lost to Jannik Sinner in that physically demanded US Open semifinal in New York. That was as of last week, Friday. But then also the conversations are still ongoing about, will he play in that tie? Because of course the tie is going down today being Wednesday, and British Davis Cup captain Leon Smith says he's yet to make a decision on whether the US Open semi-finalist Jack Draper will play in the tie against Finland today being Tuesday. We know that he arrived in Manchester as yesterday Tuesday lunchtime, and under the watchful eyes of Smith, practiced later that afternoon at the city's regional tennis center next door to Etihad Stadium. But the British number one Draper produced the best performance of his career by reaching the last four in New York. His run came to an end, of course, when he lost to Italian Yannick Sinner, who went on to win the title in the semifinals as of last week, Friday. But then Draper was sick on court during the match, afterwards putting that down to the psychological stress of the occasion. And guess what? Well, Leon Smith says it's just a question of figuring out where he is at with his energy, how much tennis he can play over the course of the week. But if he's good to go, he's good to go. If he's not, I've got every faith in those sitting beside me now. Well, my people, this is where we get to wrap it up right here on Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7. Want to say a special thank you to you for listening through. Yes, coming up at 7:30 is the newspaper review, and right after that, we're also going to be taking you through the news at 9, and 9:05 will be Panorama. Don't forget to stay tuned because it is still Women Radio 91.7. I am Miracle Phillip. You can follow me across all socials at Miracle Phillip _ on Instagram, Miracle Phillip across other socials, and do well to follow us. I mean, Women Radio 91.7. We go live on our programs. WFM 917 it is across all socials. Have a blast of a morning and stay safe. Up next, the newspaper review. Stay tuned.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
Emma Fagility Wabo, Emma Vini, any ballo, Abole Shalaye, Bahomo Beta Tipa, keep your money to Bambo, look, la malo, Pepale Sagayato, baby, wow, Murai again, Ujello.